and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast from the Podium edition. I'm Brandon Schultz. Happy New Year, everybody, and happy game day as the Seahawks take on the New York Jets today. They're going to face off against a talented secondary of the New York Jets. And here was DK Metcalf and what he had to say about cornerback Sauce Gardner and former Seahawks corner DJ Reed.
They play aggressive. They definitely know who they are as cornerbacks in the league. And, it's going to be a good matchup, with DJ coming back and then going against Ahmad Gardner. So, it's going to be a fun game.
Gardner's college teammate Coby Bryant also spoke about Sauce and whether his success in the NFL has been any kind of surprise.
I expected, greatness from him. Obviously he's going to keep working, all power to God as well, too. That's the biggest thing that me and him had in common, having that relationship with God and us being so close together that, I expected this and I'm extremely happy for him.
Bryant also talked about another Jets rookie in wide receiver Garrett Wilson.
Just, yards after the catch, he's obviously a great receiver. I played against him in college as well, too, so I always respected his game. I knew he was going to be a great receiver coming into the league, but ultimately we just have to play our defense and, play the game that we're capable of playing.
Continuing with that Jets offense, here were defensive coordinator Clint Hurtt's thoughts.
When they have Mike White playing, they seem more settled, calm. You can tell they have a lot of confidence in him when he's out there and running the offense. They are a physical team up front. They do want to make it a point to go and run the ball. Breece Hall, obviously, that was a big loss for them. The kid's a really talented player, looking at the films from earlier in the season. But the other backs they have, they all run hard. They're physical. Two quality tight ends in the receiving core. Quality guys and a lot of depth. And obviously Garrett Wilson is a really talented kid with a bright future. So this is a talented group. They obviously have a quarterback coming in that they feel good about and they're confident in. We got to make sure we're ready and prepared.
Hurtt was also asked if he's anticipating that New York uses quarterback Chris Streveler as a Wildcat QB.
He's a guy, obviously, that can do some of the zone read things, quarterback runs, things of that nature. And obviously, anytime you have, issues or whatnot during the course of the season, if it's Wildcat stuff or whatever the case may be, you always prepare yourself just as if it shows. If it doesn't, at least you were prepared for it.
Mike White, meanwhile, will be returning from injury and starting as the main quarterback for the Jets. Here were Coach Pete's thoughts on him.
It seems to have really taken over well. He must be a remarkable kid, for this early in his career to just command the respect and to demonstrate the leadership, obviously, and toughness too. He's been hit pretty good a couple times, and he keeps bouncing back. So he's got all the throws. The offense looked really, really clean with him playing. So I can see, just looking at the film, why they're comfortable with him playing. I don't know what the decision is ultimately, but I'm sure if they have him available, they're surely thinking about it.
Carroll is 3-0 against his former team since joining the Seahawks. He reflected on his prior experience coaching for the Jets.
It was a great experience. To coach in New York is really something. It's hard to imagine what it's like when you drive back, from the Meadowlands back in the day, back on Long Island, and you drive through all of those people, and the high rises. I used to always, as we go through the Parkway going back, and all of the lights that were on and all of those tall buildings, knowing that they just watched the Giants and the Jets play football, and they're happy or pissed off one way or the other, and that you represented something really unique. I never have forgotten that, and regard that really highly. It was really fun.
Geno Smith, meanwhile, expressed his gratitude for the time that he spent in New York.
Obviously drafted me, giving me an opportunity to be in the NFL, live out my dream. It's a lot of names, too many to name right now. But just my time there, I really appreciated it. Helped me grow as a man. It was a good time for me. It was a time for me to learn and grow. I would say the uniqueness of it was overall just, the eyes on you. The media, it's the biggest, in the world, I think, especially in the States. And so just always, knowing that you're being watched, every single move you make, they're looking to, figure you out, whether that's good or bad. And so just for my time there, I just managed in that and knowing that that was probably the hardest it gets in terms of media and everything else like that.
Smith says he has grown a lot since his time there.
I've just gotten wiser. I've grown a lot of time to, learn and to be able to sit and grow and learn from other guys, be around different coaches. As anyone else in life, as you get older, you just, you get better. If you try to get better, you get wiser, you learn new things, learn about yourself. And so overall, man, just not really changed that much, but I've grown in a lot of areas.
Before we get into injury news, let's hear from offensive coordinator Shane Waldron about this Jets defensive line.
Yeah, really with their guys up front, it starts right there because those four guys, and it's a lot of different guys rotating in and out throughout the course of the game. They run great games, and, they're stopping the run on the way to the pass. So, every snap you got to deal with this four-man rush that's relentless, and they do a great job of coaching it, and the players do a great job of really pursuing the football and constantly getting after the quarterback. So you can see when you put on the tape, how they're able to lead the league in quarterback hits because it is coming from multiple different people, every snap that you're putting the film on.
The anchor on that D-line is Quinnen Williams, according to Pete Carroll.
It's really a factor. It's legitimately a big factor. He's got 12 sacks, and he's not going to be the flashy pass rusher. He's a physical, aggressive, knock you back and beat you type of guy, which really suits his effectiveness in the running game and the pass game. He's a fantastic player. There's some teams we play that have a player that just jumps out at you, and they cause enough problems and draw enough attention that, they make everybody play well around him, and he's one of those guys.
Lastly, before we get to injuries, the Seahawks signed tight end Jacob Hollister earlier this week, who played for the team in 2019 and 2020.
Jake's going to be able to help us. Yeah, he jumped right back in, moves really well, as he always has. He's always been a downfield guy, and so I'm really fired up to get him back. He's ready to help us this week if we need him.
Now to Pete's updates on a few Seahawks injuries, starting with tight end Will Dissly.
He's got a really unusual injury that we've not seen before, and not that makes it so bad. It's not that. It's just a rare injury where the top of his fibula and where it connects and all that. We haven't had that situation, but it is, it's serious enough, that it's going to be a bit. So and that's why we have to go the way we went.
Something where surgery will be needed?
It's still in question. Going to wait and see. They want to give it a chance to heal first and see what happens, and then see. So we won't know that for a few weeks.
Did he play with it, or that took him out?
He did play with it for a while, and then it was too aggravating, and he knew something was up, so he had to get out of there.
The Seahawks Man of the Year, Tyler Lockett, is progressing well despite his recent surgery.
I want to see how he feels after the work today, because he worked again today in practice, and took a full day's practice and did all that. So we just got to check with him, make sure he's okay.
And lastly, a couple of players on defense, Al Woods on the defensive line and safety Ryan Neal are going to be game time decisions for Seattle.
Al made it through the practice today. I need to check in with him, see how he is tomorrow. Again, same thing with guys that are coming back. But he looked pretty good. And Ryan didn't get any work today. No work today. So we're going all the way to game day.
Woods, Neal, Lockett, Travis Homer, Marquise Goodwin, Abe Lucas, and Ken Walker are all listed as questionable for the Seahawks. And for the Jets, defensive end Vinny Curry, guard Nate Herbig, and safety LaMarcus Joyner are all questionable. Cornerback Brandon Eccles and wide receiver Jeff Smith are both out. That's going to do it for this show. Thanks to Wilson Kahn for helping to produce this episode. Follow him out on Twitter at Wilson_Kahn, CONN. Now that you're finished with this, if you haven't listened to this week's PNW Prop Stars, you can catch Wilson there along with Clint and Bonner. They go through all their top bets heading into this game. So if you want to get some insight from them, although the insight this week is that this may be a difficult game to bet, but you can hear all their bets on PNW Prop Stars. I'm going to be back after the game. We are going to be recapping this game live on YouTube, so be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Seahawkers Podcast. Looking forward to seeing everyone there after the game, and so until then, go Hawks.